Hey, 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 Beachbody Champion Paige. How are you? Kim Fitzpatrick here. I am really excited to be here and to be able to provide some value today and to just kind of come in here and pour my heart out. I'm just going to wait a minute till people get on and I know that you can see me. I'm going to make sure that I can see me. There we go. All right. So I just wanted to make sure, okay, there we go. I see some people hopping on. All right. Can you just let me know if you can hear me okay? All right. I got it. We're good. Okay. I am just fixing my bow tie and getting started because right now my bow is not working. So I just literally went in my stories and I looked like a lion. My hair looks like a lion. Someone asked me yesterday on one of my live videos what happened to my hair, and I responded back that the quarantine of 2020 happened to my hair and that I could no longer get my weekly blowouts and I had to be an adult and wash my own hair. So there's that. Anyway, I wanted to talk really quick today. I feel super honored that I was asked to pop in here, and I want to be able to just kind of provide some really good value for you today in respect to how we're showing up on social media, how we're serving our clients, how we're serving the coaches that we have the honor of partnering with and being in this business with, both the ones that we currently have as well as the ones that are going to be coming a lot over to us in the months to come. I wanted to also talk about how we're showing up on our storefront as well, which is our social media. So I want to really kind of just dive in first and foremost. And I just kind of want to say one of the things that I always say before I start my power hours, before I start training, is I tell people to kind of get their hearts ready. And I tell people to get their heads ready. And I would love for you to, just take a minute to breathe and take a minute to really feel aligned with where you're going. I want to say a couple things right now. I want you to know first and foremost that how you're showing up wherever you're at today and how you're handling this world crisis is where you're at right now. And I want to just honor that for a second because nobody tells you, and there's no workbook in training, how to handle a pandemic. So I first wanted to just give you a minute to honor where you're at. I'm going to share things that have served me, that have served my leadership, that have served my team, that have served how I am continued and consistently showing up. But I want you to not judge yourself. I want you to not think that you're not doing what you need to be doing. But I want you to think of this as an opportunity to pivot and an opportunity for you to really lean into where do you want to go and where do you want to grow and how do you want to walk out of this? Do you want to walk out of this proud? Do you want to walk out of this being someone that's a servant leader? Do you want to walk out of this that is being someone that has reestablished and or firmly planted their brand and their vision and their mission in who they are and who they show up? So I really want to just give you a minute to think about that. I want you to receive this training during a time of crisis, to know right now the fact that you're watching this and the fact that you have a business and the fact that you're a leader serving in these times is something to be really proud of. And it's something that's really special. Not everybody can continue forging ahead when things are difficult. There's a lot of people that will retreat. There's a lot of people that will live in victim and that will live in what's happening for them and where they're at. And with all due respect, that is where people are at. And I believe that we have a right, and I feel like it's a birthright for me to show up in joy because that is me, who I am, even when things are hard, right? Even when things are hard and things are scary and things aren't going as well as we want them to be going in the world or in our personal lives or in our families and things like that. So I just wanted to just frame that first, okay? I also want to frame to you that when I want to talk about light and leading and adding value, I want to talk about it in like 3 buckets. So I want to talk about it with our clients, your current and your potential. I want to talk about it with our coaches, which I said, and I want to talk about our social media. So first things first, let's talk about our clients. Because our clients, and this is something Rachel Hollis says, she says that the best way, she always sells into her client community. So she says 85% of her sales actually come from people that have already purchased from her before. So I want you to think about right now, how have you poured into your current clients? How have you poured into who you currently are serving? How have you poured into the people that have already said yes to you? How are you pouring into them? Okay, so I want you to talk about that first. So a couple things with your current clients. How many of you have sent an email in the last, and many of you probably have, but if not, check this out. There's a really great email function in our back office where you can email all your coaches or all your clients. And what I want you to do, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you if you have checked in on their hearts. How are your clients doing? How are they doing as humans? How's their family? How's their nutrition? How's their workouts? Now, I send a weekly client email. I do. And I know a lot of you do too, and I see that. That's awesome. That's so great. How are you showing up in your client group? Are you, if you don't have an email system and you are a new coach, are you sending messages on Facebook? Are you going through, there's this really cool feature on your Facebook, if you've got a Facebook accountability group, or if you're using the challenge tracker, which is amazing as well, you're able to do a message to all your clients. So how are you checking in on their hearts? How are you checking in on where they're at? How are you checking in on water intake? How are you checking in on their sleep quality, their sleep hygiene? How are you checking in on them? Are you going live in your Facebook groups? Are you going live with your clients? Are they seeing where you're at? Are they seeing that you are still maintaining your morning routine? Or are they seeing that are they seeing that you're not waking up, you're not staying in your habits? How are you showing and modeling for your clients how you're leading through a time of crisis? One thing I want to share with you is I am far from perfect. I make sure that I communicate that. Many of you know what happened for us in October with my husband, Jamie. And if I'm honest with you, I'm still trying to find my footing, because there's some mornings where I'd prefer to stay under a weighted blanket because my PTSD is so bad. And I didn't realize that I was up half the night making sure that my husband was okay. I want you to know that we have all walked through hard things. And I am very, very authentic in how I show up with my clients. And I don't try to pretend that I have it all together all the time, because I don't. And that's what makes us human. And our clients and our customers and our potential clients and our social media, this portrays for all of that. But I will share how I got through it. I will share that I did a meditation at 11 o'clock in the morning instead of maybe at 5:55. I will share that I got up and I drank my water instead of, instead of chugging my Energize first, I drink my water. So what I'm meaning by this is how are you being a bookend to solutions? How are you being a bookend to showing up? How are you making sure that people in your community understand that you're with them and you are absolutely side by side? So those are some of the things I want to talk about. So for your clients, for me, for example, I've just implemented and I'm doing a book club. So I'm going to be doing a awesome book club starting on Wednesday, and we're doing it together. One of the things that I'm starting in our book club is we're going to do a weekly weekend Zoom with everyone so that we can actually have face-to-face community and connection. Right now, there is all about social distancing and nobody has connection a lot of the time, and they are craving that. So a couple things you can think about. I know a lot of you already have your morning Zooms. That's awesome. That's an amazing thing to be doing. I know a lot of you are already doing Zooms. Are you connecting? But what else are you connecting on? Could you do a masterclass with your clients? Could you actually show them and share with them maybe some stuff from autumn and actually have them focus on the UPF? Is that an opportunity to be able to share and showcase some of the most incredible programs we have access to, where many of them may not have actually been doing To Be Mindset yet? Maybe some of your clients that have been with you don't even know it exists. Have you educated? Maybe now you could be using in your client group as an opportunity to add value, also to educate them on the programs and the products that we have. So, I mean, gosh, the monthly membership's amazing with 2B mindset or ultimate portion fix. I actually had a note today in my meditation to dive into that and to share that a little bit more and to train on that and to teach my clients that there's all these other resources for them at their fingertips. That's also just a way of you educating and sharing with them a way. And also, guys, that's going to help you build your sales when you're talking about that. So do an audit and do an inventory. How are you training and educating to your clients? How do they know what you're focusing on? What else can you be doing? Can you bring in webinars or lectures that you can also then bring out and invite other people in? So do you have a friend that's a naturopath, or do you have a friend that's a massage therapist that we can't go get massages right now? What can people be doing at home? How can you be helping them? Yes, we've got our awesome BOD stretches. Yes, we've got our on-demand yoga studios. We have all those things, but how can you be helping people, know that there's more and that you are going to be this value add? Remember, a lot of the things that I'm saying now that you're going to be serving your clients with, your coaches are going to be watching you and they're going to model that. You're going to give them an invitation and a permission to work, because right now is when the world needs you. The world isn't right now worried about you asking or selling. I want to share something with you, and this is something Jamie and I say to our team. When you signed up to be an online health and wellness coach partnered with Beachbody, you did not say, I can't wait for a pandemic in 2020 so I can go sell people things and take advantage. No, you didn't say that. You have been doing what you've been doing since the day you committed to this. So I want you to remember that. You are a steward of your business, and you have been from the minute you started. So don't you retreat right now. If anything, lean in. Lean into where you're going. Lean into what you're growing on. Lean into what you've already built and you've already committed to, because you have already been doing this. I love what Brendan Bouchard said. He sent out a phenomenal email. It actually moved me to tears. He went through all the things that he does. And at the end of it, you know what he said? Here's what he said. And this is like, if you take one thing away, I hope it is this, and you send it to your team. But this is what he said. He said, I'm going to keep showing up just like I have been for the last 14 years. So my point is that you're not just now re-showing up on social media. You should have been a light and a value add and more interested than interesting for as long as you've been a coach. You're not changing. You should be actually up leveling where you're going to go and grow right now. And that is what you have an opportunity to do right now. You can be more of a leader than you've ever been before. If you haven't watched, John Maxwell has an incredible leadership series. He recorded it last week. It's free. It's on YouTube. It's on his Facebook. But one of the things he said that was very poignant, he said that leaders in crisis lead. They rise up and they lead, and they're the light. And that's something to really remember. The other thing he said is that crisis reveals who we are. So if you're going to retreat and you're going to say this business isn't working and it's not the right time, I don't want to say that it's this business that isn't working for you. It's probably you're not working for your own business. So how have you been leaning in? How have you been doing the business activity tracker? How have you been showing up for your clients and your client groups first? Right? Because remember, we got to launch on Monday. How many of your clients have tried the sample free workout? How many of your clients know exactly how excited you are? How many of your clients are ready and amped and ready to purchase on Monday? Because have you primed them for that? So while you're giving value, honestly, you need to give value in your client group. And I'll tell you something right now, nobody hears about my stuff that I'm doing on my social media before my clients do. So if my clients don't know about this new group I'm holding, there's a problem. So make sure that you're over communicating with your clients what's happening before you go announce it, trying to just like cast that net of who's going to come in and join you. How much commitment do you have already? Because you have buy-in and loyalty and all of those things with your clients. Okay, so clients are focused on. I can talk so I'm just going to move on. All right, what else I want to say? Coaches, guest speakers, how can you enhance your current client group? Oh, another thing I want you to say, or I want you to learn, go Google, what is Disney? So Disney's training. What is their, how does Disney train their employees? I want you to think about your client group and your coaches and how you mentor is giving Disney style service excellence. So when you're at a Disney park, How do the Disney employees, staff members, team members treat you? They treat you like you are royalty. That's exactly the servant leadership mentality that you need to be having. Well, you should always be having that. But if not now, then when? So we got time. So you can Google that GTS, Google that shiz. How does Disney train their employees? How do they onboard? That has given me a gift. When I worked in the field of senior living, which is hospitality, it is excellence in customer service. That was our benchmark. So what is your benchmark? All right. So I want you to think about what is your benchmark right now for how you're serving your clients. If you are sharing freebies and all of those amazing things on social media, I hope you've sent those all to your clients plus. So those are just some ideas there. All right. For your coaches, I want to talk really about your coaches. I want to say this is important. If you are building a team, which I know majority of you in this incredible leadership group and training group are, I also want you to check in on their hearts. I want you to make sure that you are checking in with your coaches. I want you to make sure that you know how they're doing. And if you haven't given them one of these, how's your heart doing? I encourage you to do that. I invite you to do that because, guys, we're a team and we're family, and crisis brings us together, right? It makes me I'm getting teary because God, Crush Nation, like our team, they're the ones that pick you up when you crumble. I remember what happened for us. It was so good. I remember what happened for us in October, and our whole team took over. Our team didn't crumble. In fact, we got stronger than ever before. In crisis, which is what the world is in right now, in a world pause, we're in a world reset. This is the time you get close. This is the time where if you have things that need to be mended, you mend them. If you've got toxicity and not the culture you want on your team, you figure that shiz out like soon. And you start leading with your hearts. And you let all that other stuff go. Because this business is a heart-first business. This business is a relationship business. This business is an impact business. This business is a purpose-driven business. This business is so much. But if you're focused on income and this other stuff without focusing on the people first, there's going to be a disconnect. So, value, light, how have you poured into your coaches? How have you poured into your team? How have you poured into the leaders on your team? Even in crisis. Even in crisis, how are you doing this? I want to know, what tools are you giving your team? How are you being innovative? So for example, I just said, guys, I'm running a book club. I'm going to open it up to the team. We'll do a weekly connect. It won't be a lot of extra work. We're going to all self-lead, read 2 to 3 chapters a week. We're going to meet for 30-minute Zoom on the weekend. Who's in? The whole team's coming out. I've got people in my free group. I'm going to talk about that. In my free group, I had 85 people say I'm in for a book club. 85 people that did not comment in the 2-week free group that I posted before, but they're into book clubs. I think sometimes we brush people with, we just do what we focus on, right? Now, if you have me read aloud a book, I will fall asleep. And that is not what I like. But I will empower my clients. I will empower my team. I will empower my free community to read books on their own and for us to congregate together and then be leaders and then figure that out, right? Here's what I want to share with you. When you've got clients that are starting to model the coach-like behaviors, let me tell you what happens. You start to groom and build incredible business owners, which is beautiful. And that's what you want. I will say so much of the fact is that a lot of our coaches on Crush Nation have come from our client groups. They have followed the vital process of falling in love with the program. They have fallen deeply in love with the programs, the products, the process, the community, right? The personal development. So how have you given that permission and laid out that foundation for your coaches to model that too? So are you giving more? How their hearts? Are you doing extra power hours? Guys, there are amazing power hours that all the coaches are doing. So make sure you share those in your groups. Make sure that your team has access to the value. They have extra time right now. So how are you pouring into them? I had I forgot completely about a power hour I was supposed to be leading this week. I got on there and after 5 minutes of being reminded and just poured into that team. So just how are you showing up as a leader right now with the extra gifts of time you have? And I don't mean that this what is happening in the world is a gift. I don't mean that at all. It's not. It's awful. I'm praying so hard for this to end and for the world to heal. But you are at home. And if you are at home working in the crisis from home, I hope that you're working in power pockets of purpose to move your business forward. Because you would have done that even if the world wasn't in crisis as well. Am I right? Instead of watching, what is that, Tiger King? I don't even know how to turn on my TV. Okay? So I know there's some judgment, but I know where I want to go. I want to build a multi-million-dollar business. And me knowing all the great Netflix shows to watch probably isn't a good idea. But I'm okay with asking people for their advice and their feedback because, that's good. But I got to be honest with you, I'm going to pour into those people instead of watching Netflix. So I want to encourage you to do the same thing. I want to encourage you to do that because you have a choice, right? You can scroll other people's social media or you can build a business, right? Those are your two options. You can watch Netflix, if you want to do that and you have connected with who you need to connect with and you have moved your business forward, you've moved mountains, when you reflect your activities from today, you say, yes, I would join my team. Do you know I ask myself that every night? Would I have joined you today, Kim? Would I have joined you as the coach you are, how you showed up for your clients? Would I have joined you for the way that you served the business owners that you actually committed to doing? Would I join you? And if you say no, or you have a doubt or a hesitation, do better tomorrow. How's your team doing? Check in on them. How have you given them value? How have you shown them how to do something this week? How have you shared what is awesome? Angie Lee, if you're not following her, she has some amazing tips right now on IG. Share that into your team page. Pour love into them right now. Add value to your coaches and to your team. When you're learning, share it so that they can learn and lead too. Because your model, the way you model and what you're modeling right now, your coaches will follow. The lead you take right now gives them permission to do the same. So if you are allowing people to show up and be where they want to go and do all those things, that's phenomenal. The third thing I want to talk about is social media. Here's the thing. You shouldn't be doing things that are different from what you've already been doing because you've already been showing up. But there's a real opportunity here to show your heart. And there's a real opportunity here to be a light. And there's a real opportunity here to use the incredible free resources that this incredible company has gifted to us. The 10 free sample workouts. Pull that into a file and share that. Talk about that. Share the free workouts. Share the free samples. Make sure that people know that you have a solution. Make sure that people know that you have a community. Make sure that people know that you have a business opportunity that can help them earn income and give them something else as well, residually on the side. It is a disservice for you to assume that people don't want what you have. It is a disservice to assume that people do not want to buy an all-access 10-round challenge pack because you haven't asked them, because you're afraid. It is a disservice to not offer this incredible business opportunity to someone because you don't think it's the right time for them. That's not on you to decide. But what it is an opportunity for you to do on your social media is to show up and share that and to follow up with that and to show them. So to do those invites in your inbox, but here's what I want to tell you. You can be inviting till you're blue in the face in the inbox. But if you're not showing up on your social media with value and content and explaining in your way from your heart how this business opportunity works, you are going to miss the connections. So your Instagram, your Facebook, your posts have to tell the story of what you're inviting to. Okay? Make sure you're doing that. Go live right now. Live video is king. They are pushing live videos. The other thing that's amazing opportunity to do dual lives. Now, one of the things I want to share, when you go live with someone, you can't actually save it, but they'll be alerted and they'll know you can screen record, but you can't save that to an IGTV. So you can let people know that you're going live. So here's an example of a couple people that maybe you want to connect with, okay? So do you have someone in your hometown or a friend that's an expert in something? Do you have an author you can connect with? Do you have someone that's just published a new book that maybe wants to come on and talk about it? Do you have, who can you be connecting right now in your circle that can be an expert and help the people that you serve? Remember, your social media is your platform. That's your stage. So speak on your stage. Speak on your stage. And if you have not yet built up the confidence to do a live video, there is never a better time than right now to do it. Never, never. I'm going to tell you something right now. It is a part of the legacy that you're building. So we can either forge ahead and get really clear on the people that who we are, our vision, our mission, and our brand, and we can not be afraid, or we can sit back and not take advantage of this time. I will share with you, I've had more engagement on my social media than ever before because people are at home right now and people are looking for hope. People are looking for things that aren't just talking about everything that's the death rates. They're looking for value. They're looking for meal ideas. They're looking to know how to entertain and occupy their kids. They're also looking for permission that you don't have to have a color-coded homeschool schedule to also be a successful mama, because everybody has a different opinion. And I just need to share that. So please remember, add free value. Who can you go live with? Who can you be a moderator of? If you're nervous to go live, partner up with someone and ask them questions. It's a great first start. Start to talk in your stories. If you haven't done that yet, I want to challenge you to go talk in your stories. And don't delete it. This is the thing. I have a couple coaches I was talking to in the last week. They're like, it's my 5th one I post. Just do the first riff because your first one's always the best. So don't delete your stuff. Post on your stories, show on social media, and make sure that you focus on a couple things. The 3 things I focus on are leadership, serving, and helping. How can you do that? All right. So I hope this was helpful, even through crisis. I hope there's a few ideas that you took away, but even through crisis, there are many things that you can be doing. And you know what? When the world isn't in crisis, we should be showing up as leaders anyway, because that is what we are assigned to do with this awesome, awesome opportunity. All right. Stay well, guys.